Hey, 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 it's Lisa Asbell. Girls, you are going to love this one. Protect your peace. Welcome to Lisa Asbell. I'm a registered nurse. I am a transformational leadership coach. And for 30 years, I've worked with people in training, education, coaching, and cheerleading people to believe in themselves and have a better life. And I practice what I preach every day. I am very into self discipline and boundaries and leadership and personal growth and leading my own life. If you like it here, please subscribe. Please go to lisaasbell.com, subscribe there, and you will never miss a Lisa lesson. Let's get into it. All right, I am doing a cool course right now on self-led woman and self-leadership, and it is fantastic. And it is all about taking charge of your life by taking charge of how you think and how you act. And today, this Lisa lesson is about emotional leadership. And this is so important because you get to determine how you live your life. You get to determine your boundaries. You get to determine what's comfortable for you and what is not. And emotions are great teachers, but they're terrible bosses. Sometimes we get so caught up in taking care of other people and feeling guilty that we're not doing enough and making sure everybody else is okay that we forget to check in with ourselves. So it is a form of self-care, it is a form of self-discipline, and it is a form of boundaries. So there is not a time in my life when there's something I want to say, but I don't say it to keep the peace. It could be at work. It could be in a family relationship. It could be in a marriage relationship. It could even be with yourself, okay? You might be going through a tough season now, and if you are, I'm sorry. Big changes, I understand. Facing hard decisions. No matter if in your 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, life is tough. And it is exhausting sometimes just trying to keep yourself together, making sure everybody else is okay. But take a deep breath. Today we're going to talk really briefly about emotional leadership and boundaries and how to feel what you feel without falling apart, without thinking something is wrong with you. I know what it feels like to be overwhelmed. I know what it feels like to feel unloved, unappreciated. I know what it feels like to feel out of sorts, depressed, like you just can't get it together. That brings me to well. I've already told you I'm a registered nurse for many years. I am a transformational leadership coach. I love to help people make it to the next level. I like to help people determine what that next level is. And I am always reevaluating. I am always reflecting. I am always writing in my journal, taking stock of awareness, of creating awareness. So today I'm asking you for the next few minutes if you could just stop, take a deep breath. If you're able to, look at the cover of the YouTube, look at that well will. That is the framework that I've found that has helped thousands of women make big changes in their life. I don't want to live my life driven by emotion. I want to feel it. I don't want to eat it. I don't want to scream at the next person. I don't want to be overwhelmed. I want a balanced, congruent life. But you cannot let your emotions run your life. You got to be the boss of it. We are all, many of us, overworked, overtired, overstressed, not sleeping well. You got all these things going on. We can't even get into the menopause discussion, right? But we have all these different life things. You're retiring now. You've got parents that are aging. You finally get your kids out of the house. Now you've got grandkids coming along. So it's like you roll from one season to the next. without really the awareness of what you want, what direction you want to go. And part of being a self-led woman or leading your own life, and I never want to kick God out of it, right? I'm definitely a person that believes, that trusts God to direct my paths, okay? But we have a lot of choices. And so within that well framework, all of these different areas, you got to look at your relationships. You have to look at your joy, that ring on the outside. You have to determine, where am I at in the ring of joy? How much joy is in my life? And then you got to go through those little pieces of that pie on that well will, and you, oh, my health, oh man, I'm slacking in this, and this, and oh, relationships, man, I've got this toxic friend over here, I've got this other problem over here, oh, financial, oh boy, I really need to be on top of that budget. Things are getting more expensive. I mean, whatever it is for you, investing, right? Starting your own business, whatever, you look at that well will and you decide, hey, these are things I want to work on. But you won't ever be able to take stock of that and do that work that's so important on you if you don't establish boundaries. So boundaries and discipline are married. Okay? If you have weak boundaries, you probably have weak discipline. And I'm going to tell you, my self-discipline got better before my boundaries. But they are married. You have to know what is right for you, and you figure that out by asking the tough questions. You need boundaries in your life, whether it's boundaries over the food you're eating, whether it's boundaries over the spending, whether it's boundaries over letting people take advantage of you, whether it's boundaries even over you not getting up and go and find some medication for depression, or jumping on that bike and riding it, or go doing that join that club you used to enjoy, or learning how to do a new game, taking a college class in finance. I don't know what it is for you. But I do know that if you really want to look at that well will, and you really want to hone in on your life, and a lot of really great coaches and leaders like Tony Robbins teach a similar method to the well will. And it works, and it's transformational. And if you would just make a monthly practice of looking at that will and asking yourself the tough questions, then you could see, I've got some boundaries to set. A boundary is not about punishment. It's not about revenge. It's not about the silent treatment. It's not about controlling another person. You can't help what other people do. You don't have to explain yourself either. You get to make a boundary that feels good for you, that you know is right. We are studying communication. We're studying leadership. This is really important stuff, because women spend their whole darn lives keeping the peace, making the plans, smoothing things over, giving people one more chance. And then you explain everybody else's behavior on behalf of them. That is, I realize now, the years I spent doing that is messed up. That's why we're exhausted. I've called it in other lessons spinning plates. You're over here worried about what Sally's doing, and then you're over here worried about your kids doing. You're over here worried about what your husband's doing. What are you doing? I do not have time to worry about what everybody else is doing. I'm a full-time job. Lisa, this is a full-time job over here. Let me tell you what a boundary might sound like. I'm not available for that. That doesn't work for me. I need to rest. I am not willing to discuss that right now. I'm not going to continue this conversation while voices are raised. These are just examples, okay? But think of that. Think of being able to, there's no and, but, these are like 5-word sentences with a period. I love this analogy because my oldest daughter, all my kids are fantastic and just driven, smart people, but my oldest daughter's a lawyer, and she is, they love a closing argument. I'm sorry, I'm not able to do that right now. Period. No, I don't, no thanks on the cocktail. Period. I will meet you at the gym tomorrow. Period. That's it. You're not in a courtroom. You don't have to present your evidence. I have some different people that I coach, and this one client I have, it comes up all the time, explaining herself too much. Oh, I can't do that because this happened and this happened. Oh, do you mind taking me? Well, because this happened and that happened. No. 4 or 5 words, period. Let's talk about people around you when you start setting new boundaries. This comes up all the time in my coaching now for years, coaching women who are making big changes in the kitchen, big changes with their exercise, big changes in their career, big changes in, yes, their retirement years, right? Women are making all these big changes. And so many people around them don't appreciate the new boundary. Now, you can use your womanly powers if you want to and try to work it all around and try to get your way, or you can just have some emotional leadership and set a boundary. And when you begin setting boundaries, people get disappointed, angry, confused, and especially if they benefited from you not having boundaries. You know, an example could be one grandparent really wants to have the grandkids over all the time. The other grandparent really doesn't. Really doesn't. Okay? That's a boundary. Not giving kids money when you agree we're not going to give the kids any money. That's a boundary. I'm not going to bring that in the house anymore because if I bring it in the house, I'll eat it. I'm not going to bring that in the house anymore. You agree? Yeah. Somebody brings it in the house. It's breaking a boundary. So think about that. You know, think about what a boundary is, okay? A boundary is a line in the sand. Discipline helps you see that line in the sand around your habits, your relationships, your work life, the will. So the discipline and self-discipline helps you stay within those boundaries. And we do deep work. We do deep work. The women that I work with change. And the reason and I do too. And the reason we change is because we do the work. So think about right now what boundary you need. That's it. That's your homework. Think about what boundary you need. What are you afraid will happen if you establish it? What's going to happen if I don't? What's going to happen if you don't set the boundary you know that you should set? What will I do if it's not respected? What's the outcome going to be if I set boundaries and they don't honor them? It's not about being a hard person. You can be loving and say no. You can be afraid and still move forward. Okay? Listen to the emotion. I love my name, pause, and choose, okay? Or pause, name, and choose. Listen to the emotion. Pause for a minute. Name it. Okay? That is fear because I know they're not going to like it. And then choose. What am I going to be happy with tomorrow? What will I be happy with tomorrow? What decision can I make now? I'll be happy tomorrow. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you love it, subscribe. Go to Lisa Asbell and subscribe. You can lead your own life. I'll see you on the next Lisa Lesson.